Hey, everybody. This episode is for you if you are struggling with your messaging, or you have way too many ideas, or you help way too many types of people, or you help one type of person with way too many things. This episode is for you if you can associate with any way too many moments. This episode is called Solving 3 Problems, so stick around.
You're listening to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast.
Welcome to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast. And now your host, Meliss-Ep.
Today, I want to talk to you about simplifying things, making things simple. That means that we don't need to overcomplicate everything. And I think that because we are entrepreneurs and we are the innovators of the world, we are the people who are creative. We're the ones who are willing to step outside of the box. We're the ones that are willing to think in so many different ways, and we have lots of ideas coming to us. And so it is a very common thing that I hear and I see in this industry that we help a lot of people. We have tons of ideas. We have lots of different programs we want to offer, and challenges and workshops and webinars. And sometimes what happens is you've got all these ideas, but you can't execute everything. And then you still don't have clients. You still don't have income. You start feeling bad about yourself and you wonder, why did I start my business? Or how can I improve? Or why am I not moving as fast as I want to? And so also when you're a coach or a healer, you're in this industry because you love to help others. You want other people to feel successful and to feel accomplished and to have wonderful results and transformations, most often that you yourself have been through. And so you come from a place of wanting to help. So sometimes that means you're helping a lot of people with a lot of things. But I want you to remember this idea of keeping it simple. Keep things as basic as you can. Simplify the language that you're using. And when you focus on simplicity, you can be clear. And so when it comes to marketing, we have to understand that marketing, a huge part of that is in your messaging, the way your message comes across to the people that you want to take it in. Those people, those prospective dream clients that you want to have in your world are going to either connect with you or repel against the words that you're saying based on how they perceive your message. And if you've got lots of ideas, your message is not clear, which means your marketing doesn't work. And your marketing is what catapults you into the sales portion of your business, that sales process. So if your marketing isn't working, you are not making sales. So if we're working backwards, we want sales because we want customers, we want clients, we want income. And of course, we want to help people. And you take it a step back, let's say, okay, is our marketing working? And if our marketing isn't working, I'd say for at least 50% of you, the reason is, take it a step back, your messaging is not on target. And if your messaging is not on target, you are misaligned. And so if your messaging isn't on target, your marketing isn't working, you're not going to have any sales. So today's episode is called Solving 3 Problems. So I want to ask you some questions, and you can say them out loud while you're listening to this. If you could only solve 3 problems with your service, what would they be? And I really want you to think about this. What would those 3 problems be that you solve with your service? So for example, if you are a health coach, maybe the 3 problems that your service solves are confidence, motivation, and unhealthy eating habits. So that's just an example. I want you to apply this to what it is you do. The next question is, if you could only talk about 3 problems that you solve in your content, what would they be? Now, this question is similar to the last question, and the answers may be the same, but it's just another way to think about this. Because if you could post about only these 3 problems in your content would come out much clearer. Introducing the Spiritual Entrepreneur's Affirmation Deck. This is for you when you are ready to step into your full presence and power in business and life. This deck is beautifully crafted and designed to keep your daily actions in alignment with your purpose. Help heal the world and use your gifts to their fullest potential to make a big impact in other people's lives while making a living doing it. Get your Spiritual Entrepreneur's Affirmation Deck right now exclusively at melissmarketing.com/shop. Next question. If you only had 3 questions you could ask a prospective client before deciding if they would be a good client for you, what would they be? What would those questions be? So when we're talking about qualifying someone, we don't want just some rando to come up and be like, hey, can you be my health coach? Because then, or, hey, can you be my health coach? Or, hey, can you life coach me? If you only help women, or if you only help women in a certain stage of life, you're not just going to talk to this person and be like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Maybe you will, but that's not really a best practice. So let's say that you help all of the same type of person, that's your niche, with a problem. So how will you identify that the person you are speaking to is a person in that niche who has those problems? It's by qualifying, by asking specific questions that will lead you to know if they are a good fit or not. So if you had to pare it down to just 3 questions, what 3 questions would you ask a prospective client before deciding if they were a good fit for you? Because once you have those questions, you now can create your services, your content, anything that you put out there around the answers to those 3 questions to attract people who fit that demographic. So I want you to focus your attention on only 3 things. 3 because I told you we're going to be really simple here and we're going to be really clear. And when you have those 3 things, your message gets much clearer. Imagine talking about if you're a healer, and I help many healers. Most of my clients are healers. And I say, who do you help? Or what do you help with? And their answers are, oh, well, I can help with stress. I could talk about food. I could talk about sleep. I could talk about relationships. I could talk about money. And it goes on and on and on. So now when they're posting content and they're going live and they're putting out freebies and workshops, it's really covering such a broad spectrum. And it waters down your brand. And when you do that, it confuses your buyers. Your buyers don't know what you do. You might think they know what you do because you might say, I'm a healer and I can help you with blah, blah, blah. So what I want you to figure out is who you help. You say, I help blah, blah, blah solve X, Y, Z, not the entire alphabet. You don't say, I am a healer and I help my clients solve A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, Y, because what happens is one person might read one post and then they might read another post which talks about a different thing. And if they only have a problem with one of those things, they instantly say, she's not the one for me because I need this, but I don't need that. But if you only spoke on X, Y, Z, 3 things, and you constantly spoke about those 3 things, it would be very clear what you do. A great example is if you run an Instagram channel or a YouTube channel. You want to just talk about 3 things. If you've been on one of your favorite YouTubers, let's say they have millions and millions of followers, you will hear them say, hi, my name is blah, 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 and this channel is about X, Y, and Z. Nothing else. And that's why their channel has grown so big. So if you're a content creator, you might say, my channel is about content creation and being a mom. Or if you drive around the country, I have a friend who she is a marketing strategist like me, and we've done a few things together in the past. She has 2 kids and her husband, and one of her goals was to drive around all of the U.S. for a year, and her kids were being homeschooled in the RV. She could say her channel is about marketing, being a mom. Hold on, let's start over. She could say her channel is about marketing, homeschooling her kids, and traveling around the U.S. in an RV. And that would be a very big appeal for anyone who is trying to do the same thing or does the same thing. So it's very, very specific, which means it's going to attract the people who you want there. So narrow it down and drive all of your marketing efforts towards those 3 things. Now, briefly, I know I'm going to get this question because I've gotten it a lot, but Meliss, I do cover all of these things. So yes, that's fine. Let's talk about the content that you're putting out there covering these 3 main topics. And let's say if you're in a coaching session and something else comes up during the coaching session on a one-on-one basis, and then you need to bring in other elements, that's totally fine. But when you are prospecting, you have to have very specific focus to draw people in. So the distinction that I want you to make is that when you are putting content out for the masses, for all the people who don't yet know you or have not yet worked with you, like posting on your social media platforms, that's when you want to narrow it down to these 3 things. And when you are dealing with small groups or one-on-one clients, people who have already purchased your service, who already know you on a very deep level, and you are helping them actively, that's when you can bring these other elements in. All right, so we want to keep it really simple and solve these 3 problems. I hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast at www.marketingtipswithmeliss.com.
Oh, wait, before you go, I've got a special invitation for you, so listen up. Join thousands of spiritual women, entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, and business owners in a cozy community to learn effective and aligned strategies to grow and scale your business through organic marketing and so much more. I'm inviting you to join my free community called the Spiritual Women Entrepreneurs to lift one another up in business, spirituality, finances, and emotional support. Visit spiritualwomenentrepreneurs.com. See you on the inside.